Hello students. In the previous part, we have talked about the principles of management, the functions of management, the significance and its nature. Now today we are going to talk about the Fayol's principles of management. Now before we talk about the principles, let us know about who was Fayol. His full name was Henry Fayol and he was born in 1841 in France and was died in 1925. Now he is generally being known for the management theorist, the French management theorist, which signifies about managerial concepts, managerial principles which are being required into day-to-day activities while working in an organization. So he's generally talking about the concerning the scientific organization of labors through which we are able to guide them up. So his theories were widely influential in the beginning of the 20th century until now we are utilizing it. That's why he is known as the father of general management, and he's identified four functions of management. Out of the five functions, he identified the four functions, that is planning, organizing, directing and controlling. He also suggested about the qualities of a manager must be possessing in himself. He should be physically good, he should be having the moral values, he should be educated, knowledge, along with that he should be experienced, because once you have an experience, then only you are able to tackle the problems in a much better way, in much effective way than the non-experienced people. So he also suggested that a manager should be physically good, he should be having the moral values, he should be educated, knowledgeable and experienced. So these are the basic structure on the basis of which Fayol created his 14 principles of management. So today we are going to start those 14 principles of management. Now the first principle says that is division of work. Now what do you mean by division of work? He said that everyone should be specialized about one type of work. The work should be divided into sub parts and everyone should be specialized in that particular type of work. Why it has been talking about specialization? Because if you are doing one type of work, you will be specialized and you are able to produce a larger amount of output and a better work with the same efforts you are putting in it up. So this division of work is applicable in every department, whether we talk about the production department, whether we talk about the finance department. So it's applicable in the technical department also and in the managerial department also. So this division of work is being required in every organization where we have different departments, and different departments are being divided into sub departments. For example, in an organization we have finance department, we have marketing department, we have sales department. So an organization has been divided into different departments, and this department had different reasons through which they are able to specialize in that type of work. Now what is the positive effect of this division of work? It leads to specialization. Specialization means you are repeating a work again and again, and every time you are repeating a work again and again, you become perfect in it. So what it gives you the efficiency also and effectiveness also. So there will be a less wastage of resources and you will become effective and efficient. If you are not applying this division of work, there will be a lack of specialization. If a manager keep on changing the labor's position every time, he will not be able to specialize in that particular work, and there will be a waste of resources. For example, if your mother is regularly cooking, so she is specialized in that type of work, and if today it has been asked, if your father doesn't know how to cook, and today if it has been asked that today your father is going to cook, will he be able to cook in a better way? No, because he's not specialized in that work. So if you are specialized, you are able to do the work in a much better way than non-specialized person. And if you are regularly changing the work, then the labor will not be able to be motivated. He will be confused, and that will give the wastage of resources. Now the second principle, that is authority and responsibility. Now what do you mean by authority? Authority means giving the orders, and to whom you are giving the orders, they are listening to it and they are following those instructions. So if I have given an instruction to you, that is an authority I am having, and you are following those instructions and listening to those instructions. That is an authority. Responsibility, that I have listened those instructions and now I'm whatever the instructions are being given to me, I'm following those instructions. For example, your mother has asked to bring some vegetables from the market. So that's the responsibility you have to do it, that is being given by your mother, and the authority is being your mother who has given the responsibility to you. So that is the combination of authority and responsibility. So there should be a balance between the authority and the responsibility. It should not be there that a complete authority is being given to you and you are not having any responsibility. For example, I have given you 1,000 rupees and you do not know how to, what you are going to, where you are going to spend. So you don't have a responsibility about those 1,000 rupees. So you're not going to, you don't know how to spend, so you're just going to waste that particular 1,000 rupees. But if I say that from that 1,000 rupees you have to buy the stationery, so you have a responsibility that you have to buy the stationery with those particular 1,000 rupees. So you have a responsibility, authority also. So you have authority to spend those, you have 1,000 rupees and you have to spend it in a much effective way. That's your responsibility. So there should be a balance between the two, so that there should not be any misuse of the authority which are being given to you. So what is the positive effect? If this being applied in a much better way, there will be no misuse of the authority. There will be a better authority, leads to the better completion of tasks, because there will be a better balance between them, and it will help us to take a quick decision. Because I am having the authority, what I have to do with 1,000 rupees, that will be a decision, that it's my decision, and I will be able to take it in a much better way. If it is not being implemented, this principle is not implemented, there will be a misuse authority. Might be I misuse that 1,000 rupees and might use in a non-effective way, might be spend it in other places, and it always help us to, or maybe I'll just, every time I'm going to call my mother and what I will ask her what I have to do with that 1,000 rupees. So that will be the delay in decision making, and there will be a lot of wastage of time. So that is the second principle, that is authority and responsibility. Now coming to the third, that's the most important, the discipline. We know about what is discipline, and in our school we have to follow we have to be disciplined. Now what do you mean by discipline? That we have to follow the rules and regulations, the guidelines which are being given in the school premises. What does it makes? It makes the things effective way. The school is able to run in a proper and effective way. We are able to understand the things in a much better way when we are following the rules and regulations. And if we are not following the rules and regulations, there are the punishments, there are the penalties which we have to pass through. So sincerity and obedience towards, we should be sincere and obedient towards the rules and regulations. And if we are not sincere and obedient, we have to follow there's a judiciary, there's a principal who used to give us the penalties. Now obedience and sincerity is not only for the workers, it is also for the managers. If they both will be in the disciplined way, the company will run in a smooth and much efficient way than in an indisciplined organization. Everything will be in order, and it will help us to increase the efficiency. If it is not being implemented, discipline is not being implemented, there will be unhealthy relations between the managers and the workers, and we are not able to achieve the goal in a much effective way and much efficient way as we want to achieve. And there will be a lot of problems, there will be a lot of chaos, which leads to discouragement or the closure of the company. So that's the most important part, that is a discipline. Now coming to the fourth, that is unity of command. Unity of command means there should be a one head, and above that head there should be only, for example, there should be only one person through him I should be receiving the orders, and to whom I have to give the answers. There should not be that multiple people are there and I have to listen. For example, you are being a student at home, you are being an only child, your father is also giving you orders, your mother is also giving you an orders, your grandfather is also giving you orders, your grandmother is also giving you orders at the same time. Now you will be in a problem to whom to have to listen. So at a particular point of time, there should be only one person from whom you should be receiving the orders, because it will becomes easier for you to do that particular task. If you are try to do all the works, if you are try to listen to all the everyone's, it will create a confusion and a chaos, and you are not able to do anyone's work. So there should be only one superior from whom you should be receiving the orders and to whom you should be reporting it out. That is the meaning of unity of command. What is the positive effect of it? It helps us to prevent confusion and chaos. When we are not listening, we are listening to one person and we are not listening to all of them. Then it will prevent the confusion and chaos. I have to take the orders from that person and I have to follow his only instruction. I'm not going to ask to any other work. Second, it avoids conflicts. Then all the manager will not have a conflict among this. That why you are giving the orders, I have to give the orders, or the other person has to give, other person has to follow, other person is also giving the orders. So it will avoid the confusion and conflict among the superiors, and there will be a clarity among the relationship, because I have to take only from one person, then I'm going to take the orders from the one person, and the other person also knows that he is going to take the orders from only from the other person, not from me. So there will be a clarity and there will be no confusion. If this principle is not being implemented, there will be a conflict among the superiors, there will be a chaos, confusion among the people, and the order and discipline of the company will not be in a proper way, and the company will not be able to achieve to its goal. This is the fourth principle. Now coming to the fifth principle, that is unity of direction. Unity of direction, there should be one head and one plan. Now what do you mean by one head and one plan? Now let's figure it out. Now every company has a CEO that is on the top post, and then there is the every subheads are being there. That's finance department, the marketing department, the sales department, the production department. They are the subheads, and those subheads have a different managers in their different parts. So what is being there? There is only one plan which is being created by the CEO, and all the different departments are following that particular same plan. There are not 15 or 20 plans which the companies are being running. They are following only one plan, and that too which is being given by the head. So what is the positive effect of this particular principle? It will ensure that everyone is following towards the company's goal, and there is no confusion among them. So when there is no confusion, it helps in proper coordination among all the departments, and the company is able to achieve to its goal. If this principle is not being applied, then everyone will be doing their own. Everyone will be doing their own work. Might be someone will do same work twice or thrice. There will be a waste of resources. If you are working twice or thrice the same work, then will be a waste of resources. There will not be any coordination, because everyone will be having different types of plans, and everyone might be not be able to communicate with each other, which there will be a lack of coordination. And what organization want to achieve, they are not able to achieve, and that will lead to closure of the company. So that's the fifth principle, that is unity of direction. Now coming to the sixth one, that is subordination of individual interest to general interest. Now individual interest and general interest. Now general interest should be more ahead than the individual interest. Means company's interest should be at the priority than the individual interest. When we are there in an organization, there are the interests of the workers, the interests of the stakeholders, the creditors should be at the top than the interests of the individual CEOs, the managers, the company's individual employees. So the company's interest, the general interest should be at the most. If we are able to achieve the company's interests or the interests of the whole, all the workers and the stakeholders and the creditors, we are able to achieve our own individual interests. But if we are just following our individual interests, then we are not able to achieve the company's interest. So company's interest should be at the top, then our individual interest will be fulfilled. If this will be applied, there will be a proper coordination among the organization objectives and the personal objectives. It will help us to achieve the organization objective also, and it will help us to achieve our objective also. So then only the employees will be able to achieve the group goals, group activities in a much better way. If this is not be able to implement it, there will be inability of coordination. They will not be able to achieve any. There will be inability to achieve organization goals, and there will be we are going to affect the interests of the stakeholders, the employees who are working in an organization. So that's the principle number 6. Now principle number 7, that is remuneration of employees. Remuneration of employees, that the employees should be compensated in a fair and reasonable manner. For example, if I am working in this company, I feel I should be remunerated in a fair and reasonable way. For example, I am working company A and the nearby there is company B. Both the companies are doing the same type of work, but in that particular company, in company A, in which I am working, I am getting 10,000 rupees for a work, and for the same work, another person who is working company B is getting 50,000 rupees. So, is it reasonable? No. So the salaries of the employees, the remuneration of the employees should be fair and reasonable. When it is fair and reasonable, it is able to provide a reasonable standard of living and should be within the paying capacity of the company. It will help the employee to be motivated. It will reduces labor turnover. Labor turnover means that particular employee is not going to leave the job, and you don't have to search for another employee. And it creates a better relationship between the managers and the workers, because he will be motivated. He will try to work in a much better way with the workers, and the workers will be also happy because they are getting remuneration for the work which they are doing in the company. So that's the positive effect. If it is not being implemented, there will be a dissatisfaction among the workers. The workers will not be able to work in a proper way because they are getting lesser salary from the companies, from the other company. They might leave the job, for which you have to again recruit the people, and the recruitment always have an expenditure for which you have to expend it, and it will create an unhealthy relation between the manager and the workers. So that's the principle number 7. Now coming to principle number 8, that is centralization and decentralization. Now centralization means keeping the past, little bit of past with us, and then distributing the rest of the past in a different department. For example, CEO of the company used to keep some of the past with him, and then he used to distribute some of the past to his different departments. Those different departments will distribute their powers to different managers who are working in their department, and these managers used to distribute that particular powers into different supervisors who are working, and they will see that the things are being working in a proper way. With this, what will happen? The work company will able to flow in a much better way. There will be a quick decisions, and it will avoid delay in operations. It will avoid misuse of the authority, because if only one person is having all the power, he might misuse those powers and might create a problem. So it will avoid misuse of authority, and there will be a optimal decision making in the core matters. So what is centralization? Consideration of decision making by the authority. Decentralization means dispersal of the powers with more than one person, so that it creates a balance between the subordinates and with the managers, so that we are able to have a better result. Degree of centralization depends upon the core of the business. If we have a larger amount of business, then we will distribute in a much larger way. But if we have a smaller business, then might be most of the powers I'll keep with the center part, and then I'll distribute a little bit of powers with the workers. So that's a positive effects of this centralization and decentralization. If it has not been implemented, there might be, for everything I'm going to ask from the superior, and that might delay in the decision making, and might the people may misuse the authority. That is centralization and decentralization. Now point number 9, scalar chain. Scalar chain, that is the flow of information. Now we have a for example, now see this particular diagram. We have a head, that is A. He is the head. Now A is the superior under which B and L is working. B is a superior of C, C is a superior of D, D is a superior of E, E is superior of F. In the same way, L is superior of M, M is superior of N, N is superior of O, and O is superior of P. Now some information is to be given by E to O. So in a scalar chain, E has to give the message to D, then the D will give the message to C, C will give the message to B, and the B will give the message to A. Then A will give the message to L, L, then M, then N, and then O. So this is how the information should be flow in a organization. Why it is being so? If E directly went to O, then that might directly went to O. So if that might be then the E superior doesn't know about what information is given by E to O, and N O superior doesn't know what is information is being given by E to O and what O has received from E. Then it might create a confusion and chaos in the organization, and that might create a problem when A delivers some information to his B and L. So everyone in an organization should be knowing about the information. That will help us in the smooth flow of communication. There will be a unity, because unity of command says that you have to receive the orders from only from one person. That is whatever is your superior. E should be receiving the information from D. So he should be receiving the information from D. So that's why the information is being given from DE to D. And O has to receive the information only from N, the orders from the N. So that will create a unity of command will be followed, and will avoid confusion of dual subordination. Dual subordination means there will be no work twice. That particular work is not being done twice. Neither O doesn't receive the information, doesn't have to take the orders from E, or N doesn't make work done by the other person. So that particular work will be done by only by O, but that information will flow in a systematic way, so that there will be no confusion among the people, and it will create a smooth functioning of the workers. If this will not be followed, there might be multiplicity of the command. Might be the same command will be given by D to someone else, or N will can give the command the same one someone else, or E has, because rest of the people doesn't know that the information has reached to O, and it may create a multiplicity of command. There will be no clarity among the people, because all the people doesn't know about the information that it has reached to O or not, and there might be miscommunication. That's why whatever the company's information should be there, it should move in a systematic way, so that all the people from the top to the bottom should know about the information what is being sent from one place to the another person, what is being required of. That is known as scalar chain. Then principle number 10, that is order, keeping the things in a proper way. Now we know if we are keeping the thing at a particular place from where it is being brought up, it will reduces the time of wastage. For example, wherever you used to keep the pen in a pen stand, if you're not keeping that pen in a pen stand, you keep it somewhere else, you will when you are going to use it again, you have to search it, and from searching it might reduce the it might increase the time. It will waste your time. So to reduce the wastage of time, the thing should be placed at a place where it is being kept. So the tools and the materials where it is being, there should be a proper place to be kept. So if you are not keeping at a proper place, it might be lead to wastage of time. So when we are keeping the things in a proper way, it reduces the time wastage. There will be no obstacle in the smooth and running operations, because I know from where I have to take, from where I have to bring, and where I have to keep it back. And it also increases the efficiency, because it is reducing the time, and that particular time I can utilize in some other work. That's why it increases the efficiency and reduces the wastage of time. If not applied, there will be unnecessary efforts you are utilizing on searching that particular tool or equipment, and will increase the wastage of time. Now next, 11, that is equity. Equity means everyone should be having given the proper chances. There should be emphasis upon kindliness. It says, Fayol says that from the profit, whatever the company is being earning, a certain percentage should be given to the workers, because it should be justice, because it's their labor that they have earned it, through which we are earning the profit. And when we are giving a certain percentage of profit to our workers, it brings loyalty and devotion of the workers. And when it brings loyalty and devotion, it increases our company's profit more. So emphasis on kindliness and justice in the behavior of managers towards the workers. That the behavior of the manager should be fair enough, and the manager should be providing a certain percentage of profit to the workers also, because it brings loyalty and devotion from the workers. Now what is a positive effect? It brings loyalty, it brings cordial relation between the managers and the workers, and creates a congenial atmosphere. Congenial, a better atmosphere where we are working, where there will be a healthy relation between the managers and the workers. If it is not implemented, the workers will not be satisfied. There will be a poor relationship among the managers and the workers. Now, principle number 13, that is stability of personnel. Now, stability of personnel means that is minimizing the employees turnover. Now, whenever the manager is appointing the employees, that particular employee should be selected after a proper screening. Now, screening means after taking the written test, whatever you have to take, or after whatever the selection procedures of the companies are being there, after a proper screening, he should be selected. And once he should be selected for whatever the work he is being appointed, he should be appointed for that particular work. He should not be there that once he's selected, you just ask him, now you have to do different type of work. Well, what happens if you are asking him them to do different type of work once he is selected? It demotivate the worker, and might be he leave the particular employment, that particular job, and then again you have to do the selection of an employee. So when you are applying this stability of personnel, you are giving the positive effects towards the workers. It will increase the motivation of the worker that for this particular work I have been appointed and I'm getting that particular work. He feels secured about his job, and it will reduce employee turnover. He will not leave the job for which you have to appoint it again, and will reduce the recruitment cost. If you are not applying it, it will increase the employee turnover, and it will increase the recruitment cost, and will be the workers will feel insecure about this job, and they might leave the job. Now, coming to the point number 13th principle, that is initiative. The employee should also take the initiative towards achieving the organization goals without any force. They should be encouraged by within themselves to carry out the plans, and whenever they are carrying out the plans towards the managers, when they are going with some certain type of plans, the experienced workers used to go to the managers with their plans. Okay, sir, we can do the work this by this method also. So their plans should also be taken in a consideration, and when their plans are being taken into consideration, they feel motivated about this. That okay, my manager is also taking my plans into consideration, my points into consideration, and he's thinking about it. So it will motivate the employees. That might increase the efficiency and effectiveness of the workers and help us in the improvement of operations. Now, it's always being said that experienced workers are also being required in the workers, because in a company, because they always bring a better method, a better techniques which are being required in a company as they are experienced. Because every time the experience increases, it gives you a better techniques. They will always gives you a better techniques. Experienced people always gives you a better ideas, which are being required for the betterment of the companies. So if it is being taken, the employees will be motivated. If this initiative is not being applied, when we are not listening to those workers, okay, these are the workers, smaller workers, they are not educated about those things, why should I listen to him? Then they will be disheartened, they will be dissatisfied with you, and they will not be able to, they will be frustrated, and they will not work in a much effective way as they should be working, and there will be no improvements in the workers, and they will be taking the work as in the form of work, they will not work for the company's profit. They will just talk about their individual profit, and that might not lead to achieve the organization goals. So that is principle number 13. Now, principle number 14, that is spirit decos. Spirit decos means unity is strength. When we are being together, when we are working as a team, we are able to achieve everything. We have already talked about the management, the full form of team, that is together everyone achieve more. So we have to replace from the word that is I to me, be. So we have to replace the word I with we. We have to take ourselves not individually, we have to take ourselves as a team. What will the positive effect? It will increase the trust and the belongingness with one another. It will help us in better communication. It will help to facilitate in achievement of goals in a much effective way than we are working individually. If this will not be there, might be a lack of coordination, and we are not able to achieve the company's goal. So these are the 14 pure principles of management, which are the most important 14 principles which are being applicable in the 20th from the 20th century, which are being required. These 14 principles work as a base for the managers so that they are able to achieve the organization goals, and how to tackle with the workers, how to create a better relationship with the workers, and how the managers are able to tackle the problems in an organization with the workers. That is known as principles of management. In the next video, we are going to talk about Taylor's scientific management.